Welcome to Prayer Beyond Words. Lord, save me. Now, what you're going to need for this prayer painting is some newspaper or a dirty towel that you don't mind paint getting onto. Two colours, one to represent whatever you're being saved from, the bad situation, and one to represent Jesus to you. And we're going to be using brushes today, so you'll need two of your big brushes. In addition, you may need two bulldog clips or ordinary clothes pegs, something to hold your board up with and your painting on your board. And you'll see why as we progress. So, but clothes pegs or bulldog clips will do fine. And you'll need your wax candle. I suggest you don't use oil pastels or the coloured crayons for this. I think it's better just to have the wax candle. And then you'll need two pieces of paper and your water and your bucket as usual, unless you're in a kitchen. Now, I'm using two small pieces of paper because otherwise I can't get it underneath the camera so that you can see what I'm doing. But I suggest you use the biggest pieces you've got that you can use. Well, certainly twice the size of these ones. It works better on larger pieces of paper. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the candle, because we're going to be exploring our response to difficult situations. You might find actually that if the weather's good, that's if it is, you might find it easiest to do this particular one outside, since it is rather a messy one. Now, with your wax candle and using your non-preferred hands, make marks across the middle of both pieces of paper to represent your response to a troubling or difficult situation. So this is your response to a troubling or difficult situation. So use your non-preferred hand and make marks across both sides of the paper. Across the middle. No, not both sides of paper. Both pieces of paper and across the middle. So the same thing has happened to both pieces. Turn them both over in the usual way and wet them thoroughly. And then turn them back with the wax side upwards. So they're both laying side by side. Now wet this side really thoroughly. I'm sure you haven't missed any of it. It's very easy when you've got two pieces to miss some of it. It really needs to be really wet for this particular prayer painting. And then take the colour for the situation, the really bad situation, and put it across one end like that. And then exactly the same thing with the colour for Jesus at this end. Oh, slurped mine. Not to worry. Plenty of colour on. And then turn one piece through 180 degrees not easy. It's easier if they're on two separate boards. But and then what you're going to do is to tip them up. And this is where the towel or the newspaper or being outside helps, because you can tip them up so that the ink runs down them. And then watch what happens. Thinking about, if you're in that situation, are you looking at the Jesus or at the situation, which is taking all your attention? And this takes about, I seem to have got some dry bits there. This takes about 15 to 20 minutes to work. In fact, it goes on developing over quite a long time. So sit and think about situations which have bothered you, and then pray over what you see on your paper. When you're sitting with your paintings, watching them change, just want to use this as a diagrammatic way of thinking about what your thoughts might be. In the middle you've got your wax marks, and they represent your response to the difficult or troubled times across the middle. The black end, in this case, is the situation which is causing you a problem, and at this end is Jesus. And you're going to have one piece of paper which has been standing up with the black at the top, and one piece of paper which has been standing up with the yellow at the top. And the colour at the top represents whatever it is that you most focus on. So if you focus most on the difficult situation, then it would be the one with the dark at the top. And if you can focus most on Jesus in the difficult situation, then it would be the one with the yellow on the top. Watch what happens when the colour meets the mark in each of the different cases, and ask the Holy Spirit to show you what that means as you watch it and change it. Watch it changing, watch it drying, and then when it's completely dry, have another look, because they can change quite a lot between the initial painting and turning up on end and then the drying. And then make a record of this in your journal.